Hi, Kara. If perfect. There we go.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, I think we're alone at the moment. I hope some people will trickle in,
Yes,
and I will also save it on a replay.
perfect.
And I have pinned our topics on the bottom, just for us to kind of have a little bit of a guideline here,
Oh, I love it. Okay,
based on what we had discussed. And so, yeah, I think we should get started. And like I said, I will save the replay. So,
perfect.
all right. So, again, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yes.
I'm really inspired by your page, by your fun posts, by your honesty, your openness. You're very, you're very authentic. And I just wanted to have you share some of, your experiences with my community.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. You just let me know. Let's dive
There we
in.
go. Let's dive in. Let's dive in with both feet here. Here we go. So, the first topic that I wanted you to share with us, please, is your vegan journey. How did you, I guess, come across the whole concept of veganism and start your journey?
Yeah. So I first went vegan after watching What the Health, and I know a lot of
Mm,
people have had that same experience. So
yeah.
I started watching that, and then I like freaked out. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to get rid of every animal product in my home." Like I
Oh,
went to the fridge and the pantry, and I just pulled everything out that I could possibly pull out. And
yeah.
then I did that, and I thought, "Well, what do I eat now?"
Yeah. There we go. That's important.
Right? And so it took me a while. So I actually first was really like pescatarian, vegetarian for like the first 6 to 9 months, honestly. But I really recommend doing that because it was a good way to transition really easily. And also, I mean, you're having to teach yourself how to eat again, right? So like,
Totally.
what foods do you like? What foods make you feel good, right? So that's
Yeah.
really what I was trying to learn during that time of being vegetarian and pescatarian.
Hmm.
And it also helped me too. I think the biggest thing as well is the social aspects that come
Ah,
with being vegan, right?
oh,
So
I
it's like
love
you
that.
go out to eat and you're like, what do I eat now? And like how to handle that with your friends and your family. So that was also really helpful in going vegetarian pescatarian first because I could, if I went out with my friends to a restaurant, I would check the menu beforehand, so I
Uh-huh.
wasn't like in like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sweating like, what am I gonna
Oh
eat?
my gosh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
So
I have to just say that I just had a light bulb moment because I was pescatarian vegetarian for over 20 years before I became
wow.
vegan. And
Wow.
and even as a pescatarian vegetarian, I had a lot of resistance from my inner circle. And it didn't dawn on me that that was kind of like a step for them to accept that I really wasn't into animal products.
Yeah.
And you have just kind of basically put a spotlight on that for me because over and over again I say, oh gosh, it was so hard and so much resistance from people around me. But honestly, until you just said it, I never really realized that I was kind of like chipping away at some of the old cultural habits, so that
Yeah.
when I did finally say I'm vegan, it wasn't a total shock,
Mhm.
because they're like, yeah, well, she was already,
Yeah.
basically.
She was almost there anyway.
Yes, I appreciate you saying that because that
Yeah.
has really been, like, as I said, a light bulb moment for me. So please continue. Sorry.
Yeah. No, no, that's perfect. Yeah. I felt like that really helped me transition in a way that, made me successful at it, right? Because I think a lot of people, decide, okay, I'm gonna go vegan. They do it overnight. They don't know when to eat. They feel sick, and so it just takes time, right? And it's like being able to give yourself that grace and space to say, I just need to do this at my own pace, like whatever
Mm,
works for you. And everybody also has a different time commitment, different
mm,
schedules, right? So
mm,
maybe
mm.
something that worked well for me, it doesn't work well for someone else's schedule, So that honestly really helped me as well to also learn more. I love research, so I'm always researching, finding
Yeah,
information,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that took me down the rabbit hole of documentaries and articles and books, and so then it really became about, okay, what are we doing to our planet, right? Like, what does
Mm,
animal agriculture do to our planet? And then that's when I realized that, okay, like I have to do this for something more than just myself and my health.
totally,
Um,
totally.
and then I also then learned more about the ethical side of veganism. And that's really when I realized, like, hold on, I've had this compassion within me the entire time as a child. And throughout my lifetime, I listened to, society saying that it was okay to do this. When I knew as a kid it was wrong, my dad used to take me hunting as a kid. And I would bawl my eyes out, and he was like, "I can't take you anymore."
Yeah, 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 yeah. This is not for you.
Yeah, and so and it wasn't a surprise to my parents when I decided to do this. They were like, "You've always been that person," and so yeah, it was a journey. I call it the worldwide vegan tour because it was like, first it was health, then it was for the planet, and then and then for the
Totally.
animals.
I
And now I
love
feel like
that.
I've got that whole spectrum. It's like I do it for my health, but I also do it for the planet, and also because I love animals and I wanted to really be conscious about aligning my actions with my morals.
Oh, I love that. And I also, as you say, I had like building blocks and steps along my journey too. So I can definitely relate that I personally started for health, but then as I discovered more and more, everyone's talking about, carbon emissions, greenhouse gases coming from the animal supply chain, and then of course the cruelty to animals. And, so
Yeah,
I kind of had to like, on my journey as well, I kind of just learned it like little by little, to be honest with you. So
yeah.
that's I can totally relate.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about too, right? It's like, you know better, you do better, right? And so it's like it's just it's this constant you're constantly learning. Even as a vegan, I am, constantly learning about new things that maybe I use currently. Like right now it's all about, reducing for me,
Yeah,
reducing, being more conscious about what I'm consuming, as well as
yeah.
what are we bringing into our home. We're now the
Hmm.
owners of this material item, like how will it break down? Will I
The whole
resell it?
life cycle.
Yeah, it's like
Wow.
you become so much more conscious as well. I feel like being vegan is just the start of being so
Yeah,
much
I think the
more
label,
aware.
yeah, the label is just like, opening up like a whole Pandora's box of,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, there's this, there's this, there's this. I didn't know there was all of these elements to it.
Exactly. Yeah, it is. It's opening up Pandora's box, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, I know. I know. It can feel a little bit chaotic for a moment, like,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, now I should focus on this and this and this. So yeah, totally.
exactly.
Totally. Yeah. Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about some of the discoveries you made along your vegan journey.
Yeah, definitely. I would have to say some of the discoveries that I found along my vegan journey. For one, definitely when I first, decided to become vegetarian. It's really interesting because I had always heard people say that, your taste buds are going to change, right? And I didn't realize how immediate that was going to happen. And I
Wow.
went vegetarian for a month after watching What the Health, and me and my fiance, we went out on a date, on a double date. We went to my favorite place before I was vegan, which was called
Oh,
Plucker's Wing Bar, and we went
oh,
there, and I
right.
was like, I'm getting the wings, like I was so excited, and I had it. And I was like, he looked over at me and he was like, "Do you not like it?" And I was like, "It tastes so weird." And it did. My taste buds changed that quickly. I honestly felt like within a week or two, my taste buds had changed. And so even now, if I were to say, okay, I'm going to give it all up, which I never would, but if I were to give it all up, it wouldn't taste the same. It would taste totally different because now my palate has changed to want all these different types of foods. And I think that's also the other thing I realized too
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
when you become vegan, you're introducing so many more foods into your diet that you never, like, I would have never eaten beets before, sweet potatoes. Like, there's so much out there. And so some
Totally.
people feel like you're giving so much up, but really, I have opened up more, more flavors, more textures than I ever could have before going vegan.
No, and I've even made videos about that, in terms of the abundance and, people think
Yes,
it's like
I love that.
scarcity. People think there's scarcity, but there's abundance. And, you quoted basically Maya Angelou just now, when you know better, you do better. And I made another
Yeah,
little video about that too. And, I mean, all of these truisms are really true.
yeah, yeah.
I guess that's why they're called truisms. But yeah, I mean, I'm just like, wow, like she is like really like, confirming a lot of what I think as well. So that's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And guys, thanks for joining whoever's on, and please let us know where you are tuning in from, either your city,
Yes.
your country. That's always cool to see where everyone's tuning in from. And so, Cara, tell us a bit about yourself as a traveling vegan. I know you love to travel, and I know that unfortunately during these global pandemic times, a lot of us are limited in our travel, although
Yeah.
it's really cool to see people discovering their hometowns, their own countries, with a new set of eyes, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so tell us a bit about, how you travel as a vegan.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it was so funny because, I've always loved travel and I've always wanted to become a travel blogger. But, even 5 years ago, it was not really like you can make money out of this, like, it just
Yeah.
seems like a fantasy thing to do, right? Like nothing that you could actually truly do as a profession. And so I started watching a lot of travel bloggers last year. And it was because we were preparing for a trip. And I ended up watching all these travel bloggers and I thought to myself, this is so cool. But one of the things I started noticing was that most of these travel bloggers would do a day of food in that city or that country. And they were so animal product heavy. And I thought
Oof.
there has to be a better way to experience a culture, to experience a city, still get that local vibe, but do it compassionately, right? And I think as tourists, that can also be really tough as well too, because it can be kind of hard. Like, is this something that's ethical, or is this something that's going to exploit an animal, right? Or even a person, for that matter. So
Mm.
that's been something, and I love research. I'm a Gemini sun, so
Oh,
I research everything,
okay.
and that's one of the things I really love about travel is the planning aspect of it. So so then I
Ah.
started thinking to myself, well, you know what? I'd love to start when I travel. I'd love to start showing people what I do when I travel as a vegan, because I think a lot of people that I know who have gone plant-based or vegan, they, say, oh, well, when I go on vacation, I'm not vegan, or
Ah, it
I
is
slip
harder.
up.
Yeah, yeah, it's harder. It's harder to find. No,
Yeah.
totally.
But one of the things that I personally do as a vegan is anytime I'm traveling to a different country or a city, I always join the Facebook group for that city or country. And that has been huge. And I just ask people like, hey, like, what are your favorite places? And what's been really cool about being vegan and traveling is that when you find these places, they're typically off the beaten path. So you're
Yeah.
not in the touristy,
No,
gimmicky places
no.
of town.
You're in
You're
the
gonna
cool
go.
neighborhoods.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're in the neighborhoods. You're understanding the local vibe of the city. And so honestly, I have seen more of cities than I ever have before. And also, it just like it gives me a new appreciation for that city. I recently, before COVID, I went to Berlin. And
Oh, wow. I've heard it's amazing for vegans.
incredible. Oh my gosh. It was the best experience because I was really nervous. I was like, okay, this is my first time out of the country since going vegan. How is this gonna work? And I loved it. It was so great. I joined the Facebook group there for
Awesome.
English speakers in Berlin, and everybody was like, oh,
Awesome.
go here, go here. So I took the train, came down the
Oh.
bus. Yeah, it was amazing. I really got to see the city for just to go hunt for food.
I can totally relate. Well, first of all, that was a genius first choice to go to Berlin because, again, I've heard it's amazing for vegans. I am so fascinated that you choose Facebook groups because I choose Instagram hashtags.
Yes,
So
yes.
I do like vegan Madrid, vegan Paris, vegan wherever. And so that's how I found a lot of local places other than
Yeah.
places like Happy Cow and just Googling when I get there or whatever, or just asking, just telling people I'm vegan. They're like, hey, there's a vegan place, blah, 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 or whatever. So that's really cool that join these Facebook groups, which honestly I had not thought of in terms of like finding somewhere to eat that's really cool locally. So
Yeah.
I love that tip.
Yeah, they'll give you the best, like those hidden gems.
I love
And
it.
that's what I'm always in search of. Like, give me the hole in the wall place nobody knows
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I was actually in Brisbane, Australia, and I met a local woman there, and I told her I went to this particular vegan restaurant, and she was like, "How do you know about these places?" And she's like, "I live here, and I don't even know about these neighborhoods and these places." And and I was surprised, and I was like, "Oh well, it was vegan, so I went there." And she's like,
Yeah.
"Wow, like places I don't even know about." So it was cool. It was cool, like to feel like I had kind of explored a part of the city that even a local person didn't know about.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. And
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
it really opens up a lot more doors. And the other thing that I do as well too is when you're traveling, you don't realize how much plastic, like single-use plastic, that you're
Ooh, that's a good
using.
point.
And that's been something that I've been trying to do more of, is just like being really eco-friendly when I'm traveling. So, packing my lunch or packing snacks, using
Nice.
my utensil traveler set, anything that I can do to leave less waste behind as I
It's
travel is something that's really
awesome.
important to me. So I know it's been a bit harder for folks, especially with COVID, because everything is so single use right now, and I totally get it. But that's definitely something that I always try to do when I am traveling.
That's awesome. And I know sustainability is one of your pillars, and we will get to that. Or maybe we can just jump to that. We
Yeah.
were going to cover social justice before that, but there's no set order here. So, hi everybody, thanks for joining. I see people streaming in. Please let us know where you're tuning in from. That's always cool. And please pop your questions in the comment section, and I'm sure that Cara will be happy to respond.
Yes.
So, meanwhile, Cara, tell us a bit, yeah, about social justice, sustainability. You've touched on sustainability, which I really appreciate because, like you say, with so much delivery and takeout going on, since the March timeframe, it is more challenging for us to be sustainable if we're
Yeah.
eating out. So, yeah, tell us a bit more about sustainability, and then we'll bring in social justice, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just like taking that extra, all sustainability is just taking the extra step, right? That's all it's really about. So, especially right now, whenever I'm eating out, I just try to tell the wait staff or put in the delivery notes, like, hey, don't worry about, I don't need utensils. Like,
Awesome.
like, let's limit that as much as possible. Like, even
Oh.
that's just such a small thing that you can do, but it's something, right? Like,
Awesome.
telling
It
people
adds
you
up.
can't
It
because you
adds
can't
up.
do something.
It adds up. It all adds
Yeah.
up.
So that's something that I do. I've been looking into doing more composting as well. I really want to start my own compost out
Yeah.
on my patio. So
Yeah.
I'm researching that right now.
Oh,
But yeah, I
nice.
think I think so many people, just like veganism, right? Sustainability can be overwhelming because there's so much that you could do, but you just have to take it step by step and get used to it and know like what's going to work the best for you in that moment. And the more you know, the better you're going to do. And so that's been something that I've been starting to do. I just got my little Berkey filter back here, if you can see
Oh,
it.
cool, cool. Oh, I
um,
see it.
yeah, we were spending, probably anywhere between $2 to $5 a week on, bottled water,
Yeah.
the big jugs of water.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, "Ugh, there has to be a better way than to keep doing this,
And it's so much plastic waste.
so
Yeah.
much plastic waste. So I ended up doing a ton of research, found a company that sold Berkey products, and that would also allow us to put it on a payment plan because they're not cheap. But we were able to do it, and it came down to, for a whole year to finance it, it's 90 cents a day for water for a whole household, essentially 2 people and our dogs.
I
So
mean,
that has been
you can't beat that.
right. Yeah. So this has been so great to have that. So I'm really happy about that. Oh, we just had someone pop in and say your
Yeah.
plants are more than twice their size after I started composting. Oh, perfect.
Thank
That's
you,
another thing
Summer
I've been
Abs.
wanting
And
to
it's good to see you there, Summer Abs. Thanks for joining. I know you should join before on another live that I had. So thank you. That's good to know, though, in terms of, the benefits, not only to, reducing waste and sustainability, but you actually get, more healthy plants. So,
Oh, yeah.
which of course brings us more oxygen, more peace and serenity in our environment. And I see you have beautiful plants behind you.
Finally keeping them
Definitely.
alive.
Oh, yeah, 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 I know. I have a teeny tiny garden on my kitchen counter there. So I love plants.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's been something I've been wanting to try to do more of is do more gardening. That has been a huge thing that I've been starting to research more on. I have a small little click and grow behind me here, which is I can
Ah,
grow some food inside. So I've got kale and tomatoes growing right now. So I was like, I'm
awesome.
gonna start small. I'm gonna see how it works, and
Wow.
then I'll start like an
You're
actual
awesome.
garden on my patio.
Oh my God, that's inspiring. That's very inspiring. Wow.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so
Awesome.
so that's something that's really important to me. I think, everything is all interconnected, right? And I
Totally.
think that that's been even more apparent this year that so much is interconnected. We're starting
Hmm.
to realize that we have one
Hmm.
home, we're one family, right? And a
Totally.
collective.
Totally.
And so that's been something that this year has shown me a lot is not only is veganism just about being compassionate to animals, but also extending that compassion to everything and to everyone. And especially with everything that's happened this year with the tense political climate and, the Black Lives Matter movement, and just realizing that there is such a disparity between certain groups of people.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
have to be working towards having equality for everyone, no matter who they
Yeah.
are, and also
Yeah.
allowing for everyone to have the same opportunities, have access to opportunities is so important. I was able to partner up with Veg News, and I wrote an article for them about how to help with food insecurity in communities and what we
And
all
food deserts.
know. Yeah, and
And the
food
food
deserts. Yeah,
deserts. Yeah.
it's like, we can't as vegans just ask people to go vegan or to advocate for a vegan lifestyle when we have to address the root of the problem as to why people don't have access to healthy plant-based foods, right?
I mean, like you say, it's accessibility, availability, and information.
Yeah.
There's so many myths and so much information and marketing propaganda out there.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, if you don't like give them a leg up, give them some support. Like you say, don't
Yeah.
just leave people hanging to figure it out on their own all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone is not, that way. They're not very curious and inquisitive and resourceful sometimes. They might be in other areas, but just not in that particular area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So so to me, it's so important that we start recognizing, what these issues are. And I think so much of it is bubbled up to the surface this year, which is why it feels like a very chaotic year, but it's really just, we're unveiling all of the things that we pushed underneath the rug. We didn't want to acknowledge. And now we're starting to see, wow, people need health care. Wow, like people need more mental health resources and tools, and people need access to healthy food. So there's so much that we're seeing this year that's been really chaotic, but we're kind of in this world right now of we're living in a little bit of the old and new, and they're coexisting together right now, and it can feel really bumpy, but we're going to get to a place where we are birthing a new world, but we have to go through those labor pains to get to
Yeah.
this new world that we're building.
And I love how you mentioned that it's all interconnected, and all of the examples you gave, and also earlier when you were talking about your vegan journey and how, of course, you started from a health perspective, and then you learned about the planetary impacts, and then of course the animal cruelty. So like you're saying, it's all connected. We
Yeah.
cannot just look at look at anything, I guess, hardly in isolation, you
Yeah.
know? And so I really like that you put it like that,
Yeah.
that, you know, we have to look at, like you're saying, social justice, sustainability, veganism. And I would love for us to then jump over to spirituality, which is another one of your pillars and another one of your focus areas. And if you could tell us a little bit about what that means for you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, my parents grew up Catholic, and
Yes.
they definitely raised me and my siblings very different. They really wanted us to just have an open mind, and learn about all different types of religions. And my mom specifically was much more spiritual, and that really just kind of opened up my curiosity to learn about different religions. In college, I took a world religions class,
Oh,
and
wow.
I absolutely loved it. I loved learning about all different religions. And it was so interesting because at the end of the day, when I looked at all of these different religions, I was like, wow, they're all talking about the same thing. We have wars about, different religions and ideology. But at the end of the day, it's all about love. It's all
Yeah.
the energy, like the
Yeah.
energy you put out is the energy you get back.
Oh, yeah.
And so this year specifically, I've just been feeling a huge shift and a huge awakening. But I think that a lot of people on a collective and individual level are feeling this shift this year with 2020.
Yeah.
And, I really had a hard time back in May and June. And I'm in my last year is my 20s, so I'm 29. And I don't know what it was about my 29th birthday this year, but I kept asking myself, like, what is my purpose? What is my life's purpose? And I think so many
Yeah.
people are asking that question right now. What am I here to do? What was I sent here to do? And that has been something that I'm still trying to understand myself. I feel like I have a good grasp on it, but just trying to figure out, okay, I know what it is I'm supposed to do. How do I get there, right? And so that's been something that's been integrated now into my content because I realized that I was not the only one experiencing this shift and that
Okay.
so many people are asking this question. And I think we're ready to wake up out of this matrix and be free and take
Red
over
pill,
what we
blue
want.
pill. Red pill,
Yes,
blue pill. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so many people are ready to be free from the debt, be free from their job that they don't particularly love, eat better, take care of themselves, and to just enjoy life, right? Like we've been on survival mode, and I think that so many people with quarantine, we actually had a chance to stop. And we had a chance to think because we were going at 110 and miles an hour, and this was the first time people had a chance to sit and go, what do I want with my life? What is my worth? Like asking all of these really deep questions and doing that shadow work, and so I myself included. And now I really just want to be able to help people find their purpose, find their joy in life. That's what we came here to do. We came here to be free, to also help others and be of service to others, to the collective.
Totally. And I mean, this is awesome because I feel like a lot of us have been like hiding our gifts and our talents and our passions for so long,
Yeah. Yes.
trying to, fit into the matrix, like you say, trying to please other people. I know I personally have gone through that over the decades. And I spoke with someone recently, and they were like, "Oh, what do you recommend I do?" And I said, "Be yourself, be your authentic self. You have so much to
Yeah.
offer the world. Whatever it is you're interested in, you have so much to offer. Just be yourself, And we can't be anybody else. That role is already taken. So,
Yeah.
just be
One of
the best you can be.
Yeah, I totally agree. One of the things that's helped me a lot in my spiritual journey this year has been astrology. And
Oh,
one of the things I had two readings this year with astrologers, and they both said something very similar. And they said, so your birth date, as I can describe this to you, is that your birth date is the time and the exact place where your soul met your physical body and you took your first breath. And I thought to myself, my life is no accident. Like no one is here on accident. Like everything is so specific to you. The time you were born, the day you were born, the people you were born to, like everything about your life, the universe has already made a plan for you. And
Well,
there's no
everyone's
accident.
unique.
Yes,
Everyone's
absolutely.
unique.
Everybody is
Yeah.
unique, and it's for a reason. We're not supposed to fit into that mold. You're supposed to be able to be your true, authentic self, right?
I love that. Oh my gosh. That I'm gonna be thinking about that later. I love that. Oh my
Yeah, that
gosh.
really blew me away, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, woof. Whoa. All right. So let's go to your offerings. What are some of the offerings and services that you provide? I know you have your blog. You do a
Yeah.
lot of reviews that help people out. Tell us a bit more about your offerings and services.
Yeah, definitely. So I pretty much, I have my blog, which is thegratefulgirl.com. And then I'm also on TikTok. I do a lot of spirituality talks over there as well. And then I also have my YouTube channel, and that's more of
Okay.
travel. And also, my YouTube channel is almost kind of like a diary, I guess. It's a
Oh.
visual diary. So I'll be doing a really cool video. I'm working on it now, which is talking all about the story of my dog and how he
Oh.
allowed me to make the connection to going vegan. So
Oh, that was such a I read it. I read it in one of your posts and it was
yeah.
such a beautiful story. And
Oh,
I mean, I'm a dog person. So when I read it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can really relate because I adopted a dog many years ago who I think she had been like passed around. She was a little bit
yeah.
she was already middle-aged when I adopted her. Anyway, long story short, I think she had probably even been returned or something. It was kind of hard to get the full story from the
Yeah.
shelter, but she was a little bit difficult at the beginning. But I said, no, 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 no. I am going to stick with her. She needs someone to
Oh
stick with
my.
her. And, I remember like the first day when, I put her bed down and she hopped on her bed and then I kind of put my hand on her back to pet her and she snapped at me. And I was like, no, I'm not going to let that stop me. She's a little bit
Yeah.
difficult. Well, my dear, she was like my closest companion.
Oh my God. I love that.
And, it was like the rough patch never happened. She had to get to know me and trust me. And so I just kind of, I just told myself, nope, 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 whatever it is, I'm sticking with her. And she stuck with me and we just stuck with each other for 7.5 years, after that. So
Wow.
I mean your story was beautiful. If anyone who's watching either now or the replay, if they haven't read Kara's story about how she found her dog, I highly recommend the story in her
Thank you
posts.
so much.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm really excited to put that to put the YouTube video together. But yeah, it's my YouTube channel is something that I've been really trying to work towards. It's really hard to get started on YouTube. I think pretty much because it's a lot more work as far as content development because you're shooting over a longer period of time and then editing.
Mm.
Sometimes it could take me 6 to 8 hours in a day to edit one video to make it just right. So
Yeah,
yeah, it takes quite a bit of time. You can't like pump out the same amount of content on there, If I was doing it full time, I could, but
yeah,
yeah. So, but
yeah,
that
yeah.
stay tuned. That'll be the next
Cool,
video.
cool, cool. And I'm sure you'll put a link in your stories and somewhere
Yes.
around there. Okay, cool, cool. So tell us what else? What else are
Yes.
you doing? What are some of
And then
your current and future projects?
yeah, and then coming up this fall, I'll be launching a course for aspiring bloggers, and it'll
Ooh.
really all be about how to start,
Oh.
working with brands, how to, build your foundation, because this is 2020 actually goes down to number 4, which is all about foundations, and so I
Ooh,
really want to help people, find their
nice.
foundation, find their footing, and something that I've had to learn over the past few years of, what do I want my mood and tone to look like?
Yeah.
Writing a mission statement from my blog I thought was really helpful as well. So that's really what the course is going to be about, putting
Cool.
down foundations. So that will be coming out in the fall. And then come into next year, I'll also be launching a vegan beginner's guide for those who
Oh,
have New Year's resolutions and they want
awesome.
to go vegan.
Perfect, perfect.
Yeah, so that'll be coming out. And my absolute goal is to start a podcast as well at the end of this year or early next year. So
Those have
stay tuned.
really, podcasts have really taken off in the
Yeah.
last couple of years. There's someone who recommended I start that as well.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
yeah, I've just kind of been dragging my feet, kind of like building blocks to it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do the YouTube thing. I'm going to do, all kinds of interview things, so just kind of building up to it.
Yeah.
But I definitely see the beauty in it. And someone told me the other day that they were listening to my videos while they were driving. So it's kind of like, you can listen. It's because obviously in a podcast you don't always have the visual.
Yeah.
And so I definitely would encourage you to do it.
Oh, thank you. Same to you. Same to you. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's so much, right? Like whenever you're starting on a new platform, there's so much to learn. It's like, okay, I just got to take it step by step.
Yeah, that's my approach. Yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes I jump head first, I just jump in, but yeah, this one is taking me a little bit longer.
You're going to get it. Don't worry.
Yeah, you too, you too. So tell us a bit about okay, any more future projects you have coming up?
No, that's it. I'm limiting to myself top 3.
Okay.
So I
Well,
don't
three's
want
always a good number. Three's always a good number. That's what
right?
they say. It's always a good number. And it's it's more manageable.
Yes,
And then you
absolutely.
kind of, check those off your list and then you add more.
Yeah, so I've got my top 3. So I've got course, vegan guide, and the podcast.
Awesome. Stay tuned, guys, for those. So tell everybody how they can reach you in terms of collaborations, contacting you.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely, I always check my Instagram direct messages. That's honestly the best way to get a hold of me. As well as I do have my email address, which is just Kara@thegratefulgirl.com.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm on TikTok, Instagram at Grateful
Yeah.
Girl, and on YouTube as The Grateful Girl. Really cool. So far, I've recorded a lot of my travels on there. So if
Okay.
anybody's looking for an escape,
Some binge watching.
yes,
Yeah.
some binge watching. We recorded our Hawaii series. We got engaged in Hawaii before COVID happened. Thank you so
Congratulations.
much.
Oh,
That was such a fun series to record because we did so much out there and it was
I
so
heard it's
vegan
beautiful.
friendly. It's so vegan friendly.
Yeah, I heard it's beautiful. I wanted to head out there, probably like in the spring, but then
Yeah.
COVID hit, and I was like, no,
Uh,
no, 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 no. That's too far to go all the way out there, and I don't know when I'm gonna get back to the East Coast.
yeah.
No, 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 I'm not doing that. But you're right, and a lot of vegans, well, I know quite a few raw vegans, have moved out there actually,
Yeah.
and not even necessarily raw vegans. Like a few vegans have moved out there. I
Yeah.
could even, yeah, send you their names in a message afterwards. But yeah, it's a popular place for vegans for sure, and
It is.
the lush, you know, um, soil out there, I guess. There's so much fresh produce, and so
Yeah.
and the other day I saw footage, an interview of someone who has like a herbal farm or something, and they're growing all these medicinal plants and everything out there in Hawaii. So there's just so much out there. So that's a beautiful
Oh yeah.
spot for you guys.
It is. We're so excited. So we'll be planning. We're actually planning our wedding. We're planning to get married out there sometime.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so nice, though,
Yeah. So
to
we're
have the
so
engagement and
excited.
then the wedding in the same place. Oh,
Yeah. So
that's
we're really
exciting.
excited and just happy to have we really just wanted to be able to have a small celebration,
Yeah.
but just have our friends and family experience just the beauty
Yeah,
of Hawaii.
destination weddings. Yes. I listened to a podcast the other day. There's a
Yeah.
vegan podcast out there. And well, there are many, but there's one in particular, and I could even send you the link after. And she interviewed a lady. I think her handle is the Kind Bride, and
Oh,
she
yes,
organizes
yes.
vegan weddings.
Oh yes, I did. I came across her on my all my wedding planning research. I thought, oh my God, this is so cool.
All right, so I don't need to send that to you. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, you're set. You're set. No, because I was fascinated by, the interview and obviously the whole concept. I'm just so happy it's growing as a
Yeah.
sector, as a a part of the wedding industry. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that was something that was really tough at first. I kept trying to tell my parents, I was like, I'm not having like it's going to be sustainable, it's going to be vegan.
Oh, well, brava to you and bravo to your fiance. No, totally. No, I
Thank
mean,
you.
I'm like, whoa, over the moon with that idea for sure. For sure, for sure. Guys, thanks for joining. I see people popping in.
Yes,
If you have
thank you.
questions for Cara, please put them down in the comment section. I don't know if there's anything. No, there are no questions in the question box. So please just pop your questions down below. We have a few minutes left. So let's see. Okay. I don't see any questions yet. So is there anything else that you wanted to touch on, Cara, other than the points that, I had kind of suggested?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, here we go. How long have you been vegan, Kara? So I have been vegan now. I'm going on 3 years, which is crazy. I feel like I've been vegan forever, and yet
Yeah.
I've been vegan since yesterday.
No, no, no.
Um,
I think it's because you always had that compassion and that inclination, like you said, from a young age.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's so crazy to think that it's been almost 3 years now. But yeah, I mean, I just feel so much better. I feel so much better. I can't imagine going back to even, even with the inventions of the innovations, I should say, of clean meat, right? So the cloning of the of actual meat, it just, I couldn't. Like
I personally do not like that idea.
yeah, I think it's great as far as, for folks who don't want to necessarily give up that taste and texture, and this allows us to have to help the animals. But for me personally, I think for most vegans, if you've been vegan for a bit, you've kind of given that taste and texture away. Like you don't need it anymore. So but yeah, I
Totally.
mean, I feel so much better, and now I've been really starting to integrate a lot more just fresh plant-based foods. Even as a vegan, we have our junk food, right? And so I've just been really trying to incorporate more healthier foods into my diet as well. And I think it's really I've been doing a lot of like energy work, and just realizing that a lot of this processed and packaged food, this is low vibrational food, that we're feeding into our body, which doesn't necessarily make it bad. Like it's totally fine to have it every once in a while.
Well,
But for me,
it's cruelty free at
it's cruelty
least.
free. Yes, yes, exactly. And so now I've been really starting to look at, okay, like what can I do to really help my body just even, just feel lighter, and, have
With the
that
Whole
energy.
Foods, yeah.
Yeah, so that's something I've been integrating a lot more with, and I
Awesome.
just started working. I just started working with a brand called Good Apple, which is here in
Oh,
Austin, and they are a produce delivery service. So every
oh,
week I've been getting
wow.
their produce boxes, and it's honestly like
Mm.
really helped me get more creative, because I'm getting
Yeah,
more fruits and veggies that I typically wouldn't pick up in the store, because I
yeah.
stick to my staples, my
Yeah,
like
yeah. Well, we're
normal.
creatures of habit. We're creatures of
Yeah,
habit.
exactly.
I was challenging myself today in the supermarket, and I said, from now on, every time I go, I'm picking up a new vegetable or fruit that I haven't tried recently or ever. And I really just want to challenge myself to like expand my variety. So
Yes.
I love that that you're getting the boxes, and a lot of the seasonal produce, a lot of times they're fruits or vegetables that we haven't even tried before.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I cooked with radishes for the first time, which was really cool. I'd never cooked with that before. Eggplant,
Yeah.
That was another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I
I
love
love
raw
had
radishes.
squash.
Yeah, raw radishes are awesome. And some of them are so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, they literally, I've been using them on everything because I'm like, oh, this makes it look so pretty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I recently discovered, I think there's one called watermelon radish.
Oh,
Oh my dear, it is so pretty.
I'm gonna have to find that. Oh my
Oh,
God.
they're really big. They're bigger. They're bigger. Oh, they're so beautiful. Oh, we have a question. How was your journey with skincare and hair products from Frida with lots of R's? Thank you,
Yes.
Frida. Tell us, tell us.
Yeah, honestly, it's so interesting. Like I've always been into makeup, but lately I've really just been into doing a lot more skincare products, which is really
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
My hair started growing a lot quicker once I went vegan. For sure, I noticed a difference. My hair had always grown back quick, but like my aunt does my hair. She has a salon in
Oh,
Houston.
your hair's beautiful.
Thank
Tell
you.
your aunt she's amazing. Your hair's gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, she like when she does my hair, she's like, "Oh my God, like what are you doing? Because your hair's growing so much."
Growing.
So yeah, so
And
we're
so
always
much
having to trim her.
healthier. I'm sure you feel it's really much stronger and
Yes.
healthier and softer.
Definitely. Yeah, that's the other thing that she noticed as well from just doing my hair for the past, I think, 6 years, really. She's like, your hair is, she's like, it's not brittle anymore. Like, it's really full and, has good texture to it. So that has been really helpful. And then also, too, I love to switch up my hair all the time. So that's,
I noticed you have some
I,
cool hairstyles. Yeah.
I always love to like switch up my hair. I'm probably gonna switch it up here in the next like few weeks.
Well,
But
variety is the spice of life. That's
yeah,
what I say.
exactly. And as far as my skincare routine goes, I'm pretty simple on it, but I do like to, make sure that my products are really good products. Obviously, they're vegan, cruelty free. So I do tend to use like a lot of Lush products, and also. I also love using, oh gosh, what is the brand? It's at Target. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of the brand, but I get it all the time. It's a black African soap. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I
that's
think I might have seen it in one of the, yeah, in the supermarket. Yeah. Uh-oh.
okay. There we
Ah,
go.
are you there? Cool, cool. All right. You're
um,
back. Yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty much all I do. I'm super simple, but yeah, I definitely have started taking much more care of my skin
Hmm.
lately than I
Hmm.
ever have. Like in my early 20s, I was just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
cool. Like put more makeup on it. Now I'm like, okay, like let me do at night. I do my whole cleanse routine. I put my face mask on.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, and that's why I really wanted to do these lives also, because it is more than just our diet, And for me, the whole vegan lifestyle is, like you're saying about skincare and, of course, everything else you said, sustainability, social justice, etc. So I think it's super important to, look at it from, the full spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like
We,
we might have a couple more questions.
yeah, yeah. So you have an offer for a free gift there.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
There we. Oh, I'm losing your sound. Ah, you're back. Yes. Awesome.
There we go.
All
And then
right. Oh,
someone
someone's
asked about,
asking if it was Pacifica.
oh yeah, I actually do use Pacifica products. Some of them actually do break me out, but I think it has something to do with the
Ooh.
sea foam that might be in some
Ah,
of their
I've
products.
used that one and I like that one. The
You
seafoam.
think,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The facial. Yes. A cleanser. I have used that in the past.
yeah, I started using another one that's like a coconut milk based one, and that one's been really, really good. I really
Okay.
love that one. Yeah, so I do use
Yeah.
Pacifica, and I also love Pacifica's perfume line as well too. It's
Mm.
also vegan.
They have some really nice oils. The perfumed oils.
Do they?
Yeah, the roll on. They have roll-ons.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen the roll-ons. I always have the spray, but that was honestly, that's one of the hardest
Mm,
things to me as a vegan is
yeah.
perfume. It's
Yeah.
really hard to find vegan perfume out there. It's like
Yeah.
so many of the brands are big brands, and they sell in China, so they have to test on
Mhm.
animals. So that's been really
Mm.
hard. So I'm really grateful for Pacifica that they have good smelling vegan perfume.
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually have switched to organic essential oils, And I probably sometimes smell like a garden or herbal garden or something. People are probably like, well, what's that flower smell or that citrus fruit smell or whatever? But I love it. I love, the organic essential oils,
Yes.
and
Same.
that they're not going to hurt you. So,
Yeah.
they didn't hurt any living beings. So for me, they're awesome. We do have, let's see if I know we have one on the bottom. Let me just make sure I didn't miss one earlier on. So we covered skincare and hair products. Awesome. And now we have another question. Let's see. Oh, we like to buy your lunch if you stop
Oh,
by.
nice.
Do you know them? Are they in your neck of the woods?
No, I'm not sure. Where are you located? I am in
I
Austin,
don't know.
so.
Cornucopia Kitchen. Well, thank you, Cornucopia Kitchen, wherever you may be. Thank you so much. Let's see. Do we have any other? I haven't seen any other questions at the moment. So we have about 10 minutes left. Guys, please let us know. First of all, if you have any questions. Oh, they're in Boston. Oh, I'm not that far from Boston. Maybe I might get up there one day. So thank you, Cornucopia Kitchen. Do you have any health advantage by going vegan? Is the question from Summer Abs. So, Kari, do you want to take that first?
Yeah, any health advantages? I would honestly say the thing that I experienced the most once I went vegan was my energy level. My energy level changed significantly once I went vegan, especially when I do a lot of juicing. My energy level is like through the roof. Like
You're like bouncing, right? You feel like you're bouncing. I know, I do.
Yeah, but it's in a good way. I actually had back in, oh gosh, right before I went vegan, a few months before I went vegan, I actually had an instance where I had to go to the ER because my heart rate like skyrocketed after too much caffeine.
Ooh
I
la
was like at a
la.
wedding, I had like too much caffeine, and yeah, I had to go to the ER, and so he was like, well, just try to see like staying away from caffeine and see how that works. But once I went vegan and started doing more juicing, I was like, wow, I'm getting the effects that I would typically get with coffee, being at, having that energy level.
That high vibe.
Yeah, but it's like stable. It's not like, oh, I'm jittery and then I crash.
No. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think it's the high vibes without the jitters, to be honest with you. Like I feel really bouncy, when I'm like eating, the raw, like 100% raw. I'm just lighter, more energy, just bouncy. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That was my biggest. Honestly, that's been my biggest takeaway from going vegan.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. We did have a comment from Cornucopia. They were telling us that they will soon be in Portland, Oregon. So thank you, Cornucopia Kitchen. Everybody who's out there, live or replay, they are in Boston and Portland, Oregon. There we go. So let's see. Approximately what is your percentage of fruit versus greens you eat and drink?
That's a good one. I would say right now, I mean, it really just varies from day to day. And I think for me, that's why I like to take a multivitamin, because
I do too.
if I'm on the go, sometimes I just, you need certain nutrients. And I think that's why a lot of people feel sick when they first go vegan, because they're not eating enough food, and they're also not maybe eating all the food they need to get all of their nutrition in. So I actually tend to, I would say I probably do, like, I'm very basic. I'll have an avocado toast for breakfast, or I have like overnight oats in the morning, and then I'll do like a Buddha bowl for lunch or something like
those
that.
are yummy.
Yeah, so I try to do things like, I know I can kind of load up on certain fruits and vegetables, so I'm getting all the nutrients. But just in case, if I have a crazy day, or we always go on date night on Sundays, so
awesome. That's tomorrow.
Give me the burger, like. So I always like to take my multivitamin just to make sure that I'm getting all my nutrients in, and that's helped significantly.
Yeah, I take a multivitamin or supplement, but also our soils are depleted. Our soils are not as rich as they were, let's say, 100 years ago. So that's another downside to whatever we're eating, if we're vegan or non-vegan. Unfortunately, the soils are being depleted and full of junk, quite frankly, in some cases. That's what I feel. And then that's what I've heard. That's what I've learned
Yeah.
in reading. Let's see. We have a comment here from Shamelessly Fabulous. Hi there. And she says,
Oh, hi, Andrea.
hi there, Andrea. And she says, I call that feeling electric with
Yes.
4 lightning bolts.
Zoom,
There we
zoom,
go.
zoom.
I totally agree, Andrea. Frida is asking if you started with zero waste.
Yeah, so that's really been on my sustainability journey, has been how to go zero waste. It is hard, especially right now with COVID, as we were talking about earlier.
Earlier.
It's definitely harder, but I don't think it's necessarily impossible to do. So yeah, right now what we've been doing, since I'm learning to start a compost on my patio, what we've been doing is I just keep a bowl in the fridge, and any type of food scraps that we have, we put it in that bowl, and then we take it to a local composting center. So that's been really great. To me, that's honestly like the biggest waste for me is honestly just like leftover food scraps.
Yes,
Banana
yes.
peels, things like that.
And they're all organic, in
Yeah.
the sense that they naturally will break down, they
Yeah.
naturally will compost if we give them the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's honestly been, to me, the hardest part is food waste, where I see that that's the one thing that we throw out, right, all the time is food waste. So that's definitely the first part of my zero waste journey for sure. I'd like to get better, but I'm still
We're still learning. We're all on a learning curve. And especially, because you're adding more whole foods into your diet, you will have more basically compostable,
Yes.
beautiful, like you say, scraps, I guess you could
Yeah.
call it.
Definitely.
We do have some more comments. Thanks, guys, for all these comments. We only have 4 minutes left. From Summer Ab. Summer Ab says, I suspect people feel ill going vegan because of the fair energy they digest that animal feels when killed. Ooh la la. That's a good one, Summer Abs. Wow. Thank you for mentioning that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And I am very, very intrigued by that. So I'll have to look into that further. Thank you so much. We have, let's see, I think we saw, I think that was what we had. Yeah, we have some more people coming in. Thanks, guys, for joining. I will post the replay. So, Cara, we have 3 minutes.
Hey.
So tell us, what do you want to tell us before we log off?
Yeah.
What do you want to say? Share with us.
I've been studying a lot of astrology recently. Like I said, it's been something that's really helped me this year and in my spiritual journey. And obviously people can look into it if it's something that they're interested in. But for sure, I think that this year we're only kind of seeing the start of some crazy chaotic energy, right?
No,
this has been a really crazy week, and so I just
please don't let it get any worse.
Yeah, it's gonna be for astrology. People who are interested in astrology, a lot of the astrology forecasts out there have said that this week in particular and next week will be some of the most chaotic or really difficult weeks for the collective.
And we just had a full moon. We just had a full moon here.
We just had a full moon. In Aries.
I love full moons. Oh, they're so beautiful. It's giving me the countdown. We have 1 minute and 48 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I really would love to just, remind people that if they need to take a break from social media, it's okay. If they, if they feel like they need to go inward and just let their friends and family know, hey, I want to do me for a little bit, just let people know, but take the time that you need right now. You are the most important right now. So guard your energy. You are the guardian of your energy.
Totally. And I really appreciate you talking about self-care. We have a question here. Have you tried crystal therapy?
I do have my crystals actually out. I love my crystals. I haven't had like crystal therapy, but I definitely meditate with my crystals. And I do put them out when it's a good mood.
Wow. Well, those are good. Those are awesome, steps in the right direction, I'd say. Thanks, Frida, for that. comment. And I love Frida's name with all the R's. Thank you. So I am going to now save this. 45 seconds
Perfect.
left. Thank you so much, Cara. I really
Thank
appreciate you
you.
taking the time coming on and sharing your journey with us. Please, everybody, if you have additional questions or comments for Cara, please find her at Grateful Girl. All right. So thank you so much again, Cara.
Thank you
Have
so
fun
much.
have fun on your date night tomorrow with your guy, with your fiance. And
Thank
thanks
you.
again. And thanks everybody for joining.
Bye.
Bye-bye.